Next on Worcester News Tonight, after tragic drownings in central Massachusetts this week, the state is warning swimmers to take precautions before going into the water. And a man faces a judge after hitting and killing a man in a crash on Route 20 in Auburn. What police say the suspect did after striking the vehicle head-on. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Worcester and surrounding communities could see summer-like temperatures over the weekend. And as the weather gets warmer, the number of people attending local swimming spots is set to go up. Following multiple tragedies in the area so far this year, the state is asking anyone who gets in the water to do so cautiously. Our Kim Jandro has the details.
Summer-like heat is on the way, and the state's Department of Conservation and Recreation is asking swimmers to take the proper precautions.
You always go to the waterfront with a buddy. We have a buddy system that we recommend in case something does happen. You have someone to call 911.
Acting Aquatics Director Jim Esposito says Saturday and Sunday will be the first days this season with lifeguards. 15 waterfronts statewide, including Worcester's Regatta Point, will have a guard over the weekend. He advises people to not only swim where there is a trained lifeguard, but always stay in the designated areas.
At Lake Quinsigamond, outside of those lines, it could be 30 feet deep. So that's not safe to swim, especially if you're not an experienced swimmer.
The warm weather brought people to Lake Quinsigamond Friday afternoon. For some enjoying the water, paying attention is the best way to avoid tragedy.
I don't go past where it goes over my head, for one. You know, I try to touch the ground. If you're with young children, your little brothers, your little sisters, you need to keep them close by. You got to keep your eyes on them, keep them by the shore. I know my limits, you know what I mean? I don't try to go too crazy about it.
According to Esposito, the state is set to hire more than 600 lifeguards, but he asks people to be vigilant when around the water.
The lifeguards are there to make sure no one drowns. If someone is drowning, they go in and they make the save. But the parents have to especially watch their kids at all times.
State lifeguards are only working on the weekends right now, but come June 15th, that marks the start of the full-time season, meaning there will be someone in the lifeguard chair all 7 days of the week. As for the city of Worcester, their beaches, ponds, and swimming locations open up on the first day of July. In Worcester, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
A GoFundMe page set up for Rafael Perez, the high school freshman who drowned at a pond in Clinton, exceeds its goal. In 2 days, it raised nearly $12,000. Perez's family wants to send his body to the Dominican Republic, where his mother resides. According to the GoFundMe page, his family says they want to say their final goodbye. Thursday, the Auburn High School softball team stepped up to collect donations for the family at their district game. DeJesus Amaro is arraigned after hitting and killing a man in a car crash on Route 20 in Auburn Thursday. Police say he ran from the scene before police caught up with him. Amaro is accused of killing 54-year-old Michael Robidoux. Our Rosalind Flaherty has more.
DeJesus Amaro is brought into district court. He's accused of killing 54-year-old Michael Robidoux. Prosecutors say he hit him head-on Route 20 in Auburn.
You don't expect that when you're driving, though. You don't expect somebody to come into your lane and hit your head on.
Prosecutors say Amaro fled a motor vehicle stop in Sutton Thursday. Later in the day, he was on Route 20 when he allegedly crossed the yellow line, hitting a Toyota and a Jeep. Robidoux was the passenger in the Jeep. Police say Amaro ran from the scene before they caught him.
When questioned why he ran from the police, this defendant stated he was not going back to jail.
Angel Velazquez says he is the owner of the SUV Amaro was driving. He says he never gave him permission to use it.
That's the worst part of it, is that somebody's gone.
Prosecutors say Amaro had a partially full bottle of Hennessy liquor in the vehicle and admitted to police he took 2 shots and smoked blunts earlier in the day. His attorney says he is a father of 3.
He has no convictions on his record at all.
A memorial is growing at the crash site. Robidoux owned a tow shop less than half a mile from where he died. We interviewed him in 2017 after he jumped in to assist victims of a crash in the same area. His brother says he always helped others and no one can replace him.
He always gave his shirt off his back for family, friends.
That was our Rosalind Flaherty reporting. For the first time today in the so-called Blackstone House of Horrors murder trial, we're hearing Erica Murray's interviews with police. Investigators confronted her about finding her 3-year-old and 5-month-old daughters neglected and covered in feces in the home, as well as 3 sets of infant remains discovered in closets. Murray voluntarily spoke with police before she was under arrest and then once again when she was arrested. She initially denied knowing about the infants and keeping the younger children secret, but eventually admitted it, saying her boyfriend didn't want any more kids after the first 2, but she got pregnant.
I had been in this situation and I just didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who I could trust and tell.
Murray is charged with the murder of 2 of the 3 dead babies found in the home back in September of 2014. Former Worcester Mayor Tim Murray is honored Friday with his mayoral portrait at City Hall. Murray's wife and 2 daughters joined him as he unveiled it in front of friends, family, and former co-workers, including former Governor Deval Patrick. Murray was first elected as mayor in 2001 and stepped down in 2007 when he became Lieutenant Governor of Massachusetts. Now the president and CEO of the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce, Murray reflected on how Worcester has played a big role in his life.
Worcester's a great city. It's a great place. And I'm going to tell a little bit of story of how it's been good to my family, dating back now 4 generations. 3 of my 4 grandparents were immigrants. Worcester was the place where they realized the American dream. So, you know, it's special. And to be able to talk about that and celebrate it, you know, it means a lot.
Murray says it was an honor of a lifetime to be mayor of his hometown. For the first time in 25 years, the Middle Eastern Festival has returned to the St. George Orthodox Cathedral in Worcester. It celebrates Middle Eastern culture through different varieties of food, including shawarma, kebabs, and baklava. There was also live music, dancing, and a marketplace with crafts for sale. Dean of the Cathedral, Malad Salim, says the event brings people from the Middle Eastern community together with their neighbors.
If you look around right now, you'll see how mixed this is, and that's what we really enjoy, and that's what we wanted to bring everyone together from different cultures all together under one place and under one umbrella, and that's what we're doing here.
The festival will be open from 12 to 11 p.m. Saturday and 12 to 6 p.m. Sunday. The Worcester Public Schools are planning to sue the state to demand more funding. The school committee has voted to hire a city lawyer to represent them against the legislature. Our Chandler Walsh has the details.
Worcester Public Schools are preparing in case they have to sue the state for more funding.
We're serious about finding the dollars to educate our kids, and we'll do whatever is necessary.
The school committee voted last night to hire Bowditch and Dewey to represent the district. The firm says they hope the threat of a lawsuit is all it takes to put pressure on the legislature.
It's the last alternative, right? And one we hope will never be taken.
Attorney Michael Angelini says the basis of their argument is the current funding formula violates state constitution.
The Constitution of Massachusetts imposes the obligation that every student in Massachusetts have an adequate education.
State funding for the next school year is $250 million. School committee member Jack Foley says it's $70 to $100 million short of where it should be. Foley says more funding is needed for health insurance, special education, and education for English language learners.
We can do tremendous work in the district with additional teachers, with additional counselors for students, wraparound coordinators, and also some more technology.
Angelini says they may know if a lawsuit is necessary in 2 to 3 months. Their goal is for students in Worcester and other gateway cities to have an equal opportunity for success.
And children who live in wealthy communities have an advantage that children who live in wonderful communities like Worcester don't have.
If we don't find this funding to properly educate these students, we will have lost a generation of kids. And we can't do that. We can't afford to lose 10 years, 15 years of educating students properly.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester Public School students could soon be introduced to the first of its kind pilot program. The Safe Roads Alliance met with city officials and Superintendent Maureen Benenda to discuss how to educate the community on distracted driving. The Alliance is pitching a curriculum for elementary school students to teach them to speak up if they notice a parent or sibling is driving distracted. President Emily Stein says they're looking for schools across Massachusetts to pilot the free 30-minute program next fall and thinks Worcester would be a great fit.
Some fun animation and some fun video as well. You have kids, you know, they have this nag power, and they also love following the rules. And I think they can be that really helpful voice to remind parents the importance of getting home safe.
We can train our children in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade so that they can give helpful hints to the adults that are driving their cars.
Menendez says the school committee would have to approve it, but says they're very interested and will look for more information. An apartment complex in Westboro is sold to a California real estate firm. According to the Worcester Business Journal, FRA Multifamily bought Fountainhead Apartments for $130 million. New signs at Fountainhead now say Arrive Westboro. The property has 3 buildings with 562 units. According to the apartment's website, they include studio, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom floor plans. Well, Friday marks an unofficial holiday for all the people with a sweet tooth. Today is National Donut Day. To celebrate the occasion, Worcester's Glazy Susan set up shop inside Redemption Rock Brewery to sell their donuts. Glazy Susan is Worcester's first specialty donut shop. They offer a variety of handcrafted donuts while using ingredients sourced from across central Massachusetts.
In our travels, we would find that most cities had an awesome donut shop that's, sourcing locally and making from scratch. And every time we would come home to Worcester, we would be saddened because we don't have that here.
The community support has been just tremendous, and it warms our hearts every time that we see a huge lineup for us for these donuts.
Some of the flavors they offer: strawberry shortcake, the original glazed Glazy Susan, Worcester cream, and maple bacon.